Welcome to the Family History Guide, starting your genealogical research in Austria. This video will introduce you to Austria Goal 1, Research and Records. This goal will teach you step by step about finding records about your Austrian ancestors and relatives. The country called Austria today bears little resemblance to the country as it existed in the past. This map shows the different ethnic groups of people who lived in Austria-Hungary in 1911. Those people who lived in this area are referred to as Germans, Magyars or Hungarians, Romanians, Croats, Serbians, Ruthenians or Ukrainians, Czechs, Slovaks, Poles, Slovenes, and Italians. If your ancestor emigrated from any one of these European ethnic groups to the United States or some other country during the time of the Austria-Hungarian Empire from 1867 to 1918, then they would probably have recorded their country of origin as Austria, perhaps Germany. Finding your immigrant ancestors' place of origin is one of the most challenging goals in doing genealogical research. The first step in beginning your genealogical research to find an immigrant ancestor always begins in the country of arrival, not the supposed country of origin. Individuals' names and dates are also important, but only become entirely useful when you know the exact location of events in your ancestors' lives. In Austria, because of the extensive changes in individual country and ethnic boundaries, knowing the village, town, or city where your ancestors lived is essential to finding records about your family. Start looking for records you may have at home and talk to as many relatives as you can discover. You may find the town where your ancestors lived in any of the following types of records: birth, marriage, death, and burial records, newspaper records including funeral cards and obituaries, journals, photographs, letters, family Bibles, naturalization papers, citizenship papers, military service records. If you have discovered where events occurred in your ancestors' lives, or if you already know the exact location of events in your ancestors' lives, then you need to move on to finding the records that may exist documenting their lives. After contacting family members and before you begin looking for records online, you will need to know how the historic changes in the country boundaries in Europe will affect the location of the existing genealogically valuable records. To understand where the records may have been created, it is important to know some history. From a genealogical research standpoint, the history of what is today contained in the country called Austria begins with the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire was founded on Christmas Day, December 25th, 800 AD, when Pope Leo III crowned Charlemagne king of the Franks as Emperor of the Romans in Rome. Over the centuries, the Holy Roman Empire stretched over most of Europe. The empire lasted for over 1,000 years, but its ending date is a subject of debate among historians. The traditional date for the dissolution of the Holy Roman Empire is August 6, 1806, when Emperor Francis II abdicated during the Napoleonic Wars. This event followed the Treaty of Pressburg, which led to the dissolution of the empire. However, it's important to note that the Holy Roman Empire has undergone significant transformations throughout its existence, and it wasn't a continuous or cohesive entity. It evolved over time, and its borders and political structure changed considerably, and therefore any genealogical records could be found in ethnically diverse modern countries. The Austrian-Hungarian Empire, also known as the Dual Monarchy, began in 1867 and lasted until the end of World War I in 1918. When Austria and Hungary merged in 1867, each country retained much of its own autonomy. They shared some powers, but most of the administration of the two countries was separate. For this reason, it is necessary to know which part of the empire your ancestors came from. The record types, languages encountered, and the identity of the jurisdictions will vary depending on which part of the empire they lived in. After World War I, the country of Austria was left with its current borders. But during the German expansion up to and including World War II, Austria became part of Germany with much of the rest of Europe. After World War II, Austria was divided into 4 zones and jointly occupied by the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, the United States, and France. This occupation lasted until 1955. Despite this occupation, Austria was not considered a part of the Soviet Union. It was treated as a liberated and independent country after the war. The country of Austria today borders on the Czech Republic, Germany, Hungary, Slovakia, Slovenia, Italy, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein, and is divided into 9 provinces, also known as federal states. Understanding all these border changes is essential to accurate genealogical research in any part of Europe. The links in the Family History Guide will also provide you with valuable information about how to begin to find your ancestors in Austria. Study the choices in this goal to develop your research skills.